Somewhere in the vast deserts of Mexico, where light mingles with shadow, there lived a man many believed to be a sorcerer. But he never claimed such a title. He simply called himself a warrior on the path of knowledge. His name was Don Juan Matus. Let's take a deeper look. Who was Don Juan, and why did his teachings become so influential? What exactly did Carlos Castaneda write in his best-selling books that captured so much attention and drew so many toward this mysterious man and his profound philosophy? In the 1960s, Carlos Castaneda, a young anthropologist from UCLA, traveled to Mexico to research the traditional use of hallucinogenic plants. But his journey turned into something far greater than mere academic study. His encounter with Don Juan became the beginning of a deep and transformative apprenticeship. Their first meeting was at a bus station in a small Mexican town. Don Juan approached Carlos with quiet mystery and calm intensity. At first, he seemed distant and stern, but slowly, his unique worldview began to draw Carlos in, shifting the young researcher's life forever. Their interactions were filled with riddles, silence, and spiritual challenges. Don Juan often posed strange questions that forced Carlos to question everything he thought he knew about reality. Their conversations were full of long, thoughtful pauses, gaps where meaning flowed not from words, but from presence. Carlos, with his scientific mindset, was unprepared for the wisdom Don Juan shared. Don Juan was a shaman, someone who lived in deep harmony with nature and believed that the world is alive with energy and meaning. For him, everything in nature carried messages and lessons, waiting to be seen by those with true awareness. These teachings clashed with Carlos's academic background, but also fascinated him. What began as research evolved into a spiritual adventure, one that would redefine his understanding of life and consciousness. Don Juan encouraged Carlos to break free from mental limitations and to experience reality without judgment. He used metaphors, strange stories, and intense exercises to guide Carlos beyond ordinary perception. He would say, "Ordinary people are like leaves in the wind, but a warrior lives every moment with total awareness." According to Don Juan, a warrior must be impeccable. There's no room for lies, excuses, or wasted energy. Every action must be precise and meaningful. One of his core lessons was to pause and choose consciously, even before the simplest acts. "There is no pre-made path," Don Juan told him. "Each step you take creates your way." In one of the practices, Don Juan took Carlos deep into the desert and asked him to remain silent, to simply feel the presence of nature and listen for its response. He believed that silence of the mind was the key to seeing truth. "Your inner dialogue must stop," he said. "Only then can you truly see." Don Juan also reminded Carlos of the presence of death. "Death sits on your left shoulder," he said. "Before every decision, turn to it and ask, is this worth it?" Awareness of death, he believed, brought clarity and purpose to life. But was Don Juan a real person, or a fictional creation of Castaneda's imagination? That question has stirred debate for decades. Castaneda's first book, published in 1968, gained instant fame, but soon skeptics began questioning the truth behind his accounts. Journalists and researchers found no solid proof that Don Juan ever existed. Many of Castaneda's claims, like shape-shifting or magical journeys, seemed more like myth than anthropology. Beyond that, Castaneda's personal life became surrounded by controversy. After gaining fame, he gathered a circle of devoted female followers and formed what many now call a cult. These women, known as sorceresses, were required to cut ties with friends and family and dedicate themselves completely to Castaneda's teachings. Allegations of manipulation, financial exploitation, and the mysterious disappearance of some of these women after his death have cast a shadow over his legacy. Today, many view Castaneda not as a sincere anthropologist, but as a charismatic storyteller who mixed spirituality, fiction, and mystery to create a powerful narrative, one that captivated millions, but not without a cost. Still, when we step away from the controversies, what remains are the timeless themes in Don Juan's teachings: moment-to-moment awareness, connection with nature, the silence of the mind, and the courage to create one's own path. Thanks for staying with me until the end. I'm Awa, and on this channel, I share topics that spark my own curiosity and reflection. I always read your comments carefully and try to reply. So if you have thoughts or questions, feel free to write. Until next time, farewell.